Good morning. It's a little bit after 10 a.m. here in the United States. It's Saturday, the 13th of October. It's 40 degrees and cold here where I'm at. This is Shooting the Breeze. I'm TakersMinion, your host, joined as always with my partner, the man from the Rising Sun, who has a fixation with YOSHIHIKO, Mr. Dr. Senju. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
There are no words.
You've had too much sake. That's what it is.
Rejoice, for the world has been blessed by the reintroduction of the DDT Pros. Awesome person involved. YOSHIHIKO. Yay!
Who has matches with rubber sex dolls.
YOSHIHIKO is the rubber doll.
Oh, whatever.
And imagine the whole thing that I could do. YOSHIHIKO versus John Cena!
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jesus H. Christ. Oh.
Okay, I think MDS has really lost it.
MDS is really
Actually, I think he lost it Thursday night when he chose that.
I mean, imagine the commentary by both Mauro Ranallo and Jim Ross. I don't know about you, but this is the first time that an opponent simply is not faced by the Undertaker's entrance. He's just sitting there motionless, JR. Doing nothing.
Oh, whatever. As you heard that female voice in the background, that is the beautiful, the lovely Legends lover, also known as the curator on Connoisseurs of Wrestling. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Oh, sir, thanks.
So you're saying sir because I usually have guys here. My bad.
Now your wife is laughing.
Well, it's nice that he's married to a man. Okay.
No, I'm not.
I know this is supposed to be a PG family-friendly show, but have you checked?
Hey, MDS, you started it today. Good morning, everybody. Sorry for all this. It just seems like this show is going a little crazy today.
Yes, it is. Well, and we're also joined by our friend One-Winged Angel from
California.
California, San Jose, California area, K-Side fame. Morning, Angel. I know it's early for you.
Good morning. Yep, about 8 o'clock in the morning here.
Mm-hmm.
The sun has risen. It's a beautiful day. And
You're not hungover. That's why you're up so early.
I'm not hungover. Yes,
Oh,
although I didn't realize we were all getting drunk today because that's what it appears like from how I've been how they've been talking since I got on the air here. But
I'm not getting drunk after I get done. I'm going to bed.
talks about a beautiful day and it's colder than hell here.
It's colder than a witch's tit and a brass bra over here.
Wow. My day is just getting better and better.
But that's not what we're really talking about. We're not talking about YOSHIHIKO or anything like that.
Hopefully we've gotten it out of the way.
Yes. He's had fun now. It's time to get a little serious here.
I'll tell you the context at the end of the show.
Yeah, okay.
We'll save a little time for you to do Thursday night.
Thursday night.
These are supposed to keep people invested in the show.
Yes.
If you do that, MDS, you might scare people off. And we can't afford that.
I mean, fine. I'll get this out of the way then before the audiences ran off in fear of what I have. I mean, context being that last Thursday I was on Two Guys One Sport. We resumed our ancient rivalry of modern day era drafting. And somehow I got the craziest idea of pulling DDT's sex doll, who is also a wrestler, YOSHIHIKO, into my draft. And somehow that broke the internet.
It broke the show.
It broke the show. The best quote was that if this show has been gone off the rails, now the train has been set on fire.
Yeah.
And the most surprising thing is that Yoshihiko has wrestled a match in 2018. Yes, and George is just 1 or 2 seconds pause of silence, and then by God, he's in.
Yep, that was enough. That was enough.
That was enough to just. Although I did try and spring a surprise when I said that my last pick would be Ladybeard, but no, I don't want to take Ladybeard. I'll take Kane, thank you very much, on my last pick.
Yeah.
But I did want to take. I don't want to break the internet again, although I did break Chris out laughing with that last pick, with that last pretend pick. So those are the simplest contexts that I can give. And as you can imagine, yes, I did have too much fun on that show.
Yes,
I really had too much fun. So
what we're here to talk about today, though, is we're not covering a lot of. We haven't been covering a lot of in-ring lately. We've been covering issues and things that we find that are brought to our attention. And one thing we're talking about today is we have a top 10 list here, 3 of them actually, of highest paid men, highest paid women, and the top 10 underpaid wrestlers on the roster currently.
Okay.
We'll start. I'm just gonna read them off from 10 to 1 for the men.
Okay.
And what they make. Number 10 is Kevin Owens at $2 million. This is for the men. Number 9 is Dean Ambrose at $2.2 million. 8 is Undertaker at $2.5 under a Legends contract. Number 7 is Seth Rollins at $2.7 million. Number 6 is Randy Orton at $2.9 million. This is the most interesting one. At number 5, Triple H at $3.2 million for in-ring work.
I believe that was supposed to be for everything.
For everything. Okay. Number 4, AJ Styles at $3.5 million. Now the top 3 are people you would expect, but not in this. Pretty much in this order. Roman Reigns at 4.3. He's number 3. Brock Lesnar is number 2 at 6.5. And the guy who's the top of the list, John Cena at $10 million a year.
When you get between the 3, that's where the biggest.
That from 3 to 1, there is a $5.7 million difference. That's a little. I don't understand it. I mean, some of these names on here are doing a lot better. John Cena is part time. He should be down lower on the thing. I don't know.
Well, and Brock is part time.
And Brock should be. Yeah, Brock's getting $6.5 million for being part time.
I mean, he's been part time since he came back.
Is this an all inclusive figure? Are you aware? I mean, I know
this
is
into
the nitty gritty because there are separate merchandise deals. There are deals like first class travel, and
I think this is their
base salary. Okay.
Yes,
what they're getting from WWE period without the merchandise.
Okay,
but you look at number 5. You figure Triple H. You figure he'd be up there because he's management. He's a CEO. And everything he's doing in ring, everything, he's only getting 3.2 million, and that's not just from what I read. It's not just the in ring. That is plus with him being sick.
Okay.
And it's a single source, by the way, so we don't. We haven't been able to confirm it, but there's plenty out there, for previous years that have been confirmed. And, I look at these numbers and there's such a disparity between 10 and 1. It's $8 million difference.
Yeah. But it's the 3 top ones. That's the biggest difference. Especially when the top 2 are part-timers.
But are they the biggest draw?
Well, Brock Lesnar's are not really one of the biggest draws. He hasn't really been a big draw. for quite a while.
Because Brock Lesnar's not been around.
Yeah. But then again, they can't change it because that's his contract.
Because,
Okay.
I mean, the way I kind of think of it is, look where John Cena was in his career at where Dean Ambrose is now, and how much was John Cena making then? Like, it's kind of an ebbs and flows. It's really a pay your dues kind of business. So,
but I'm sorry, but Dean Ambrose has paid his dues being on,
I understand
being part of.
I don't mean on the this everything before WWE is moot in this.
I know. And that's the sad part about
It's really sad, but it's true.
It is.
And John Cena has been, I can understand him being one of the top guys.
He should be.
Yeah, because he has really paid his dues in WWE. But if you're going to go like that, he's been part-time for a while. Then why is Undertaker at number 8? Undertaker's been there the longest. He has really paid his dues. But yeah, on a top 10, he's one of the lowest paid, even though he's a legend now.
And Undertaker was in the WWE during the Monday Night Wars when everybody was jumping ship and going over to WCW.
Yeah,
he came from WCW.
So if you're gonna look at it, who's put in their dues, their longevity, and everything else, even with part-time, full-time, Undertaker should not be down on the list. He should be up there too.
He's also semi-retired as opposed to part-time, I think, because he's probably I don't know the.
He's not showing semi-retired. If you pull him up on Wiki, it's showing him as signed to a Legends contract.
Legends contract though is different than a talent contract. So that
is true.
I believe. I don't know how it works. I'm guessing it's probably on a per appearance basis. I don't know if that's true or not. I have zero data in front of me, but I'm not trying to justify, but for a while there, he was, only wrestling one match a year. So I don't know. I mean, that's what Triple H does, but Triple H does way more. He's fully involved full time in other ways, and I'm sure he's got stock up the wazoo.
But you also got to understand one point. Undertaker's been there. This is what 2018. He debuted in 1990.
Yeah.
Survivor Series 1990. He's coming up on 28 years in the WWE.
But he could have signed a new contract. His could have been way up there and then signed a new contract for the Legends. So there's that too. It's just if you're going to go by longevity and draw and being a draw, I'm sorry. Undertaker's a bigger draw than John Cena.
Yeah. I mean, look at the greatest Royal Rumble. Undertaker was somebody they wanted there.
Yep.
Why? He's a draw.
Yeah. Okay.
But what?
Okay. I think that's understandable, but considering the fact that John Cena has been around for about 10 years and Undertaker has been around for longer.
I'm talking about. I think John Cena has been around 16, 18.
Yeah, 16, 18, and Undertaker has been over 20, I think.
28
years.
Yeah, almost 30 years. So I think it's more because he needs. I think it's more that the smart thing that Undertaker has done is actually keep his money. That's for sure. And I think I believe that he doesn't really mind if his pay has been reduced substantially, considering he has done a lot of draws back then, and he has main evented. He has carried the company even before John Cena got into the main event in the first place. So the disparaging difference between Undertaker and John Cena getting paid and all that is just understandable. Plus, he is also a company guy. Both of them are actually company men. I mean, I don't know the specifics of how they dealt with the whole thing. Okay, Mr. Undertaker, Mr. Calloway, you're going to be paid this much, and John is going to be paid a lot more than you do. And
yet, people want Undertaker to show up. They want him to be at all the big pay-per-views. They want him to be at the Royal Rumble. They want him to be at WrestleMania. They want him at SummerSlam, and they want him to be at Survivor Series. Those for the fans here in the United States wants. Not to mention what
Overseas.
the Saudis overseas, what the Saudis and what look at Super Showdown. They had to, he went down there. So Undertaker is still a draw.
Yeah.
He's still a very big draw.
Yes.
And everything like you
That's
said.
not a doubt.
Everything like you said. You bring in Undertaker and John Cena. They both were basically they do the same. So
because they both basically are draws.
They're
in
both
what level that's debatable. In what level that's kind of debatable, because some people say John Cena can draw more. Some people say that Undertaker could draw more. There's going to be
who's the one that's requested to be there?
Yeah, I know.
And that's the that's the point. That's my point. My point in the whole thing is that being special requested to show up to a show, whether it be a pay-per-view or a glorified house show that they put on the network, should say something about the person. John Cena is one of the most is the most polarizing superstar WWE has. He's more polarizing than freaking Roman Reigns is. And Roman Reigns has a hard time with crowds.
Of course. And John Cena ruined it for him. And
if you look at people, or if you look at the fans, what the fans want, the ones who's requested the most out of the two is Undertaker. People want to see Undertaker more. So, I mean, it goes back and forth how that one would work.
Do I think John Cena deserves to be top dog? No. There are several other ones on the roster that deserve it.
Again, quite debatable, considering it's what we think, and it's what the company thinks.
So I'm looking at AJ Styles, for instance. But he's been getting shit on by the company.
Number one, and number two, he's already been hugely paid by NJPW, and back then even by Impact standards too. So it's like I said, it's huge. It's going to be all opinion based, because it's what we think the wrestler or the company or the employer, the employee in this case, deserve his the contracted employee deserves versus what the company feels the contracted employee should have. So,
and also it depends on when they're going through negotiations for their contract, what they're going to negotiate. And with John Cena and Brock Lesnar, with Brock Lesnar, he's got Paul. He wants the most he can get.
Yeah, they both probably have amazing agents too, because all of these wrestlers have agents. That's
of course.
So that can be a huge deal maker, deal breaker, I guess, is who you have on your side and who is going to push the most and get the most out of, one of the most hard-headed businessmen of all time. So
hopefully though in 2019 for our next contract kind of changes, because the way Brock's going, Brock should be coming down on the list, not going up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that, you look at the year Seth Rollins is having. He's had a fantastic year, and he's only making just a little over $2.5 million. He's making $2.7 million. He's grossly underpaid for what he's been doing.
Yeah.
AJ Styles is being underpaid for what he's been doing, and some of the shit storylines he's been given.
Especially lately,
Kevin Owens making $2 million. Well, he's finally come. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's just sad.
Okay.
But
You already touched on the top 10 men.
Right.
So about go on with the top 10 underpaid.
Here's some of the
Go with the underpaid first because you
Yeah.
touched on a couple. So you might as well finish with the underpaid.
We'll do the top 10 underpaid, then we'll do the top 10 women.
Yeah, go ahead.
Number 10 underpaid is Kofi Kingston at 500,000.
Is this per year or this is per
year?
This is This is just 2018.
This is just 2018 numbers. Yeah.
Okay.
Number 9 is Nia Jax at 100,000.
Okay.
Number 8 is Asuka at 250,000. AJ Styles is 7 at 3.5. We already know he's on the other list. He's number 4 on the highest paid, but number 7 on underpaid. Number 6 is Matt Hardy at 650,000. Kalisto is 5th at 350,000.
No, number 4. This one is, to me, is bad.
This is bad. Number 4 is the worst one of them all. It's the Usos. $250,000 base salary each.
Okay.
Cesaro's only getting 500,000, and he should be getting paid a lot more than he's being paid. Nakamura is number 2 at 400,000. And the number 1 underpaid.
This is the worst.
This is the worst one. The number 1 most underpaid wrestler for 2018 is Braun Strowman at 300,000.
For Braun Strowman, he just started. So if he gets another new contract, then
any sport in the world, your rookie contract is going to be
that's going to be a jump. That's going to be hopefully going to be a huge jump for underpaid and whatnot. He just started, number 1. But yeah, some of the names in there are surprising. So
yeah, I mean
Kofi Kingston, as long as he's been with WWE.
Yeah, that one's really surprising to me.
And then you got the Usos that are 250,000 each.
You look at the money they've been printing lately.
Yeah.
Cesaro is another one. Underpaid, underappreciated by the company. I mean, him and Sheamus are pretty good together. Cesaro needs to step away. He needs to break out and be on his own.
He does better. He's good.
Yeah.
This is just a sad state. I mean, there's just so many people. Kalisto. Look at what he did on the main roster, what he's doing down in 205 Live now.
Matt Hardy, he's been in and out with the injuries and everything. I don't know if I'd say he's underpaid. Asuka, for what she's done, that I would believe is a little underpaid. 250,000. Nia's new. She's been there, 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years now, I think.
But 100,000 is a little low.
For a wrestler on that level, it's very low because of, I mean, you may look, $100,000, it's a great salary, but that does not include everything that she has to put in herself, including healthcare and travel. So she's probably taking home just
maybe 30, maybe 30, maybe 30.
Yeah.
So on that list, I would put Nia as number 1. I mean, she is, by this list, she really is underpaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Kofi, I would put Kofi up there too. I think it's criminal what he's getting paid.
Yeah.
in comparison.
The 3 I look at that are bad is Nia, Kofi, and the Usos. Those should be the top 3 for underpaid.
I agree.
Yeah. I hope, and I don't know about the rest of the New Day. I just hope that Kofi Kofi should be the most paid, but he should be paid more than that.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, Kofi is the one that carries that team, to be perfectly honest with you.
And if you, like we talked about before, longevity and everything else, out of the New Day, Kofi has been there the longest.
Yep.
Kofi has had some great runs. So
I
him
want
at
to see him.
500,000 is that, to me, that's wrong.
It's absolutely obscene.
I mean, it's hard. Yeah, it's really, really hard to kind of make a point on it when
it's obscene.
It's quite true. It is.
The top 10 women for this.
Okay, go.
Number 10 is Asuka. Number 10 is a tie between three people: Asuka, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch at 250,000.
For this one, I'm going to make a point. It's supposed to be the highest paid top 10, but the list, there was 11 names. So we can't really go by numbers on this one because there's 11 of them.
Okay. Number 7, tied for 7, is another 3 wrestlers: Mickie James, Natalya, and Brie Bella at 300,000. So that's okay. Tied for 4th is another one, 3 names.
No, oh yeah, never mind. I was looking at the wrong one.
Yeah.
Okay.
These 3 are tied. Paige, Nikki Bella, and Alexa Bliss all make 350,000.
Okay.
Number 2 on the list is Charlotte at 550,000. Angel, who do you think is at the top of the list?
Let's see.
Take your best guess.
Never mind.
Well, it can't be Bailey. It has.
You got one guess.
Tamina Snuka.
No.
No.
It's Ronda Rousey at 1. Now here's the
yeah.
Charlotte makes 550,000 this year, right? Ronda's making $1.5 million. Look at that.
For a brand new wrestler.
For a new wrestler, for a rookie, she's making $1,500,000.
I don't.
Which is
I don't see anything wrong with that. I it's to be expected, actually.
It is.
Okay, but then again,
difference.
okay, Braun Strowman is only making $300,000, and that's his rookie contract. You say?
Yeah, but nobody knows who he is.
That's the problem.
Everybody knows.
Nobody knows who he is.
This is also a business, so I understand.
As much as we understand that Braun Strowman has his staying power, has his main attractive power.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey's the biggest draw.
Yeah, if you compare Braun Strowman and Ronda Rousey, people will know Ronda Rousey more.
Yeah. There was an interest. There's people wanted to see how she would do, and
she's not doing bad.
No,
she's not doing bad. We're not. You're not I think all of us aren't criticizing her because she's doing bad or anything. She's doing good. No. She's doing good for herself.
In fact, she's just getting better at a breakneck pace. But
yes,
I don't know. I don't have a problem with that number because I have a problem with all the other numbers, but
they're just ridiculously low, aren't they?
Yeah. That's the
biggest disparity between the women and the men.
Yeah.
The lowest paid man is making $2 million even on the top 10, and then the 3 lowest paid women are making 40 times less.
And they all travel the same. They all, put their body on the line the same. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, number 1. Yeah, they work out. Number 2, I think it depends on how much screen time they're getting. And then the company is deciding and all that. I'm just speculating. I'm just throwing spitballs around. So.
And the women don't get as much. If you look at TV time, everything, the women don't get as much as the men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No,
that is true.
Unless Stephanie's there.
No. Please don't
But
make
you
me
noticed-
drunk
But
again.
you noticed, Stephanie has wrestled in 2018. We had Triple H on the top 10 men. Stephanie isn't even on this.
Does she have a separate talent contract from her executive?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I think Triple H. I think that was Triple H's. I don't think that's his everything. I think that's his wrestler contract.
That's strictly his talent contract. And I'm
because he's
assuming
probably
Stephanie
got another
has one, too.
contract.
Yeah.
But that makes you wonder. Who else is not on that list? On the men's list. How about Shane?
Yeah. Well, he's
Where's
not
Shane?
an executive, so
No, but he's not. He's a talent. Where's his money?
yeah.
No, back then he was. I don't know what his role is now.
Yeah. Yeah, but
He
he's
hasn't
wishing
been on
now.
TV
He's wishing
since-
now he didn't sell all those stocks. To tell you what.
Yeah.
But
Where
the thing is
the
if we're
price
going to
right
do
now.
that, we're going to do that. What about Stephanie? You're not going to tell me she's going to be the lowest paid.
No, of course not. This is just
You figure she would
Don't
be
know.
up there too.
Yeah, you figure she would be in there too. It's just
I
that,
was looking for her on this list actually. I was figuring because she's an on-air talent too. So
Hey, but she's not on it.
yeah.
she's not on the kind of sort of she's not on the list of rosters that they're going to be used for the main for the TV time. Rather, she's on an executive role. Triple H, well, they're using him for TV time, so
Yeah, where Stephanie was only in the one.
yeah, it's only in the one, unless she makes a one-off appearances promoting women's wrestling. It's a historic day for women's wrestling. Please don't make me drunk again.
Yes.
But
Every
some of
time.
these names on the women,
I think
Yeah.
on. Go ahead.
they're very underpaid. Yeah, top 10.
I mean, small segue. If I'm gonna put an executive call again, if Stephanie McMahon shows up on the screen, I am going to take a shot. So, especially when she blabs about promoting a historic moment for women's wrestling,
Brother.
first ever. Oh, brother.
The
But in
ones
any
that
case,
I see on here that are weird is you got Brie Bella at 300,000, Nikki Bella at 350,000.
Mhm.
But both of them been out for a couple of years. They just came back. Why are they even?
just been back, and I think it's more like, okay, we're gonna give you a short-term contract because you just got back from injury, but the payout is big.
Yeah, where you've got Natalia that's been there for years.
Yes.
You've got
But
Becky
the surprise-
Lynch,
Yeah,
stuff
but
that are way down there.
Mhm.
They should be up ahead of the Bellas.
yeah.
The thing I hope for
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the thing
The
I hope
thing you
for
hope.
some of them
Mhm.
that are on Total Divas is that they
Mhm.
get a little bump in their salary for doing that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
I hope
anything
so. I
behind
hope so.
that. I hope
think
that that's not included in this.
I think it's
and that-
royalties. I think it's more royalties for them being on a TV show.
Okay.
A
So
reality
hopefully
show,
for
so-
a number of them they get a little bump on
Yeah.
that
Uh-huh.
fact. But
Because surprisingly enough, I think Becky Lynch should get a similar pay grade as Charlotte Flair.
you would think,
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, you would
Yeah,
think.
Even if it's like 400,000 up in that range, she should be up there in the top 3.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm not saying because I'm not saying this to point out and start complaining about how. I'm not going to go off on a really weird tangent of how men are paid more than women, or how some women don't deserve this kind of pay and whatnot. It's just an interesting thing to talk about. It's just an interesting topic to see because, wow, this is how much they're getting paid yearly. So it's surprising. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's a single source information. We weren't able to confirm any of it, so
But we thought it was.
Go ahead.
We just thought it was interesting.
Yeah. I agree. Totally agree, because some of the numbers are surprising, especially with John Cena now moving to China and whatnot. He's supposed to be getting cut a little bit off the bone rather than getting 10 million off the bat yearly. Oh boy, but hey, At least he's happy, so there's that.
Yeah, and then you look at it, and you look at for the highest paid. You just look at the variances from number 1 and number 2,
Mm-hmm.
or even just the variances between the top 3. They're big differences.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And that also brings a good precedence too. With Shawn Michaels returning for Crown Jewel, what's his cut? Doing a one-off thing. What's his cut in doing a one-off?
Had to be 6 figures at least.
Yeah. And say even Trish Stratus for coming back. Trish Stratus and Lita coming back for Evolution. What's her cut? What's their cut in the whole?
Well, they've already been back.
They were in both of them were in Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Okay. But Lita?
Not greatest Royal Rumble either. The WWE Royal Rumble. Yeah.
But for just kind of like 1 or 2 kind of appearances, what are their payoffs? So.
And then you got Beth Phoenix coming back too.
Yeah, Beth Phoenix doing one-off even though she's not wrestling, but she's doing commentary.
Beth Phoenix also wrestled in the Women's Royal Rumble.
Oh, damn. Okay, now.
Yeah, she did.
And there's talk. It's going back and forth between commentary or she's going to wrestle at Evolution.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot to talk about. There's going to be a lot of rumors floating on for Evolution.
We already know Renee Young's going to be on the commentary. We already know that. That's a given.
Yeah. They have no one else other than Renee Young to do it.
Yeah,
well,
Michael. You'll probably be Michael.
Wrestling, at least Lita's wrestling, so we don't have to hear her. That's the good part. Because otherwise, we might have put her on there.
No, Renee Young on wrestling. I hope not.
No.
But don't forget, they can also do it because they've done it before. Even if they're wrestling in the matches, some of them could be down commentating on other matches.
Yes. Yep.
You know.
I mean,
and from what I'm hearing, I haven't seen any of it yet. I got to watch the Mae Young Classic, but from what I'm hearing, that it's Cole, Renee, and Beth, and I hear it's really good.
It is really good.
Well,
and it is Cole, Phoenix, and Young. So yeah.
So if they do that in Evolution, it'll be. Oh, go ahead.
As I say, didn't Beth do the other Mae Young Classic too?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, but I.
Hey, wait, no, she did not. It's actually Lita and Jim Ross doing.
It was Jim Ross and Lita last year.
No, Beth was doing
Beth was doing bracketology. Oh, and she did a one-off. She only did a one-off
for Mae Young.
Yeah.
She also was doing some of the mixed match.
Yeah, mixed match. Yeah, true. And but again, it's a good precedent to think about it, I guess. I mean, I wanted to delve about on rumor roundup ahead of, since we're touching about Evolution. Yeah, there's a lot. It doesn't get much busier than this in the world of WWE. We're reaching into the final fourth quarter of the year, and they're really getting their business up because not only is SmackDown 1000 is underway, WWE is working a balancing act akin to just working a balancing act promoting both Evolution and I know this is going to be a little bit touchy subject, but I'll touch on it later. Crown Jewel. Okay. Naturally, rumors persist during busy times like this, but I'm going to concentrate most on Evolution. So here's some of the stuff that jump up. We haven't really seen Sasha Banks in a long time, have we?
No, what's the rumor they're talking about? She's injured, but
yeah, she's. Some people say that they're in. Some good sources say that she is injured, and she actually asked for time out for it. She asked for a break.
Who's this?
Sasha Banks.
Okay.
So, because we haven't seen her out, and we assume that she's out, but we don't know. I think this is one of the first times that I heard that Sasha actually asked for a time off, and because she's hurt. So, and again, I'll always say this: the topic of Sasha Banks drives a lot of passionate opinions from fans. Then compared to most WWE superstars, other than Roman Reigns, other than John Cena and whatnot. You talk about Sasha Banks. Oh, there's a lot of opinions, and all of the opinions are passionate opinions. So yeah.
Yeah, they're passionate either way.
Mhm.
Some don't
But
believe it,
she
some
hasn't.
do.
Yeah, I know. And the 4-time Raw Women's Champion hasn't really wrestled a match since December 3rd, so kind of makes sense in the time because they wanted to keep her healthy coming into Evolution. So on October 28th, so we'll see if she's good enough to go by then, and I understand that. and then there's another rumor for Evolution, considering the fact that WWE hasn't really considered Trish Stratus versus Alexa Bliss. They didn't really think that it's going to happen. They never thought that. They never thought about that anyway.
Well, that was one of the things that they were going for. But what Alexa Bliss's problem with her arm.
Yeah, that's the Trish Stratus and Lita teaming up against Mickie James and Alexa Bliss to protect Alexa Bliss because she may be having the same issues as Jason Jordan.
With the numbness in her arm?
She's having numbness in her arm and hand.
But here's the thing.
That's a nerve injury.
Yeah, I know. Maybe that's the reason why they actually considered the whole thing of pairing Mickie James and Alexa Bliss against Trish Stratus and Lita to counteract the whole injury side note thing. So yeah.
Well, the thing about it is that's saying to me, and I don't know. Maybe you guys could talk about this. What that's saying to me though is that Alexa's not going to be doing any bumping. It's going to be Mickey's going to be doing all the bumping. She's going to be bumping her ass off.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit silly if you want to consider this rumor to be actually true because, opinions divided as it may, but Trish Stratus and Alexa Bliss facing off is hard to argue against it, but it's a dream matchup many would love to see because
the real dream match would have been Sasha Trish.
Yeah, Sasha Trish, true, but we can't get what we always want, so here we go.
But there was also something else. If you remember right, they had table for 3.
Yeah.
It was Trish Stratus, Alexa Bliss, and wasn't it Lita?
I think it was.
And they talked about it. Trish and Alexa sat and talked right there how Alexa, how she would love to have a match with Trish. And Trish said the same thing. Those two won a match together.
Yeah, because go ahead, finish the thought.
I was just saying, they talked about it. Wanted to do that.
Yeah, because it's simple, really. You put one Hall of Famer against one of the modern. Okay, this is gonna divide opinion. Modern greats. So.
I say modern.
I think the correct term. I'll correct myself. The correct term would be one of the best modern era female wrestlers that we have.
I beg your pardon.
Most successful, maybe, but
Most
I don't know about
successful.
best.
Okay.
Beg your pardon. I beg your pardon here.
I got a better one.
Okay,
one
go.
of the modern era's champions.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I'll take that. But yeah, again, a veteran versus a up and comer, I guess, or an established up and comer.
I beg your pardon. No, I have my.
I know you have.
You're right. You are absolutely right. Now it's my turn.
Okay.
Alexa Bliss sucks in the ring.
Okay.
She's great on the mic. She sucks in the ring. She hasn't improved in the entire time she's been on the main roster. Unlike Carmella, who recently was dealt some dirty ass shit, took some chicken shit and turned it into chicken salad and is getting it over.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, look, her and Truth are over like Rover.
Okay. But like I said, a modern day champion.
Yeah.
Gotta give her that. She's a 6-time champion.
Yeah. And she's facing off against one of the Hall of Famers. But now, both of them get shoved into a tag match. One featuring 2 part-timers. So
2 legends versus a legend and a rookie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's, in my opinion, Alexa's a rookie and always will be a rookie because she's not improved.
Okay.
In ring.
No,
Whereas Carmella has.
If we
You've
couldn't have
all
had
seen-
Sasha, I would have rather have seen Trish and Mickey go one more time. They had some electricity in the Royal Rumble.
I would have loved to seen. I would love to see the triple threat. To be perfectly honest with you,
Lita,
Trish-
Stratus, Mickey.
No. Yes, Alita, Trish Stratus, and Mickey.
There you go.
That'd be awesome.
Well, you know, a match I would like to see, because if Beth Phoenix comes back to wrestle, one of her and Mickey had some great feuds.
Yeah,
That
true.
would be a good one to see.
Yeah. I mean, they could have WWE creative should have come up with some other way to kind of figure this out and delay announcing Rousey's opponent. As well, considering Rousey is Rousey, you place her on the card, irregardless of what you want, where you want to push her on a card. She's gonna get casual promotion. WWE is gonna get plenty of casual promotion with Ronda spearheading the whole thing. Because if you put Ronda Rousey in a non-wrestling role, you're gonna get eyeballs. If you put Ronda Rousey in a wrestling role, you're gonna get more eyeballs. So
Yeah.
we could have figured out.
Ronda is a casual hook. She will hook the casual in.
But when you bring the legends in wrestling, that's when you're bringing more.
Yes. You just layers upon layers of attractive interest, I think, if you want to.
Yeah, because a lot of people want to see the legends.
Yeah. A lot of people are even complaining that the Ronda match is going to be the main event, but I don't see anything wrong with that. I think
Why shouldn't the champion?
it should be the main event.
You know, why shouldn't the champions be co-main events? Becky and Ronda both should be, co-main eventing. You know, both would be considered a main event. Have two main event matches.
And I don't have any problem with Nikki Bella being in the main event. I think she is very talented compared to her sister, and
We've had our differences on that, Derek.
Yeah,
Nikki is better than Brie.
I don't know.
Yes, Nikki is better than Brie. I have to say.
I think it'll be a hard hitting, good match. I think between these two. So I'm excited for it, and I like it being the main event. I know a lot of people have been upset about that, but
but WWE is going to WWE. They're going to pull Nikki. They're going to pull both Nikki and Brie as well.
Okay, I got one. Since we're talking main events with Becky and Ed, what about the rumor with Becky now about a cracked jaw?
Yeah, cracked jaw.
I think
it's legit, because if you look at her on there's a WWE posted a video on their Twitter page, and you can actually see the left side of her mouth. She's her mouth is not operating correctly.
Yeah.
A person cannot force one side of their mouth not to move.
Yeah.
And
yeah. And here's the thing, though. I think they're gonna take her along to Evolution, but here's the bad news that I'm gonna have to drop down to you guys.
She's gonna lose.
Yeah. If the injury is severe enough after the whole evaluation with the medical team, she's good. It looks like she's going to have to drop the title to get the surgery done on her jaw, which is because and some say that it's going to be evaluated, but some other sources are saying that it's worse than it gets. It's going to be worse than that, so it's going to cost her. It's going to cost her big with the injury on her jaw. So,
and she is so screwed right now.
It is in a way, but
here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing about it. Look at what happened to her the first time she was champ. She got ill, and then she got hurt. What they do? They made her give up the belt to Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're gonna have her give it up to Charlotte again.
Yeah, they have to hot potato it back again, but. Let's hope that it doesn't really have to rely on hot potatoing or dropping the belt back to Charlotte again. I guess if she manages to retain, that's going to set up another precedent. What happens next?
Yeah.
Is she going to drop? Is she going to drop the title? Is she going to Yeah, is she gonna vacate the title so that there's gonna be another tournament contest to set up who's gonna be the next champion of SmackDown? Who knows? But yeah, it does not look good for us fans of Becky Lynch and us fans of Stone Cold Becky Lynch right now. So
Right.
it's not looking good, man. So
No, it's not. And I hate to say it, but I told you so. I knew it. I said, as long as I said she'll keep the title as long as she stays healthy. Well, guess what? She's not healthy. She's not.
Oh no. Somehow I hear some wailing and crying and whining in the distance.
Yep.
I wonder where it happened or how it happened to you.
I bet I bet you any amount of money she got stiffed by Charlotte.
By accident, of course.
No, yeah, I don't think she laid potatoes in on purpose.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
No, of course not. Oh no, there's bound to be something that happened somewhere along the line. So
well, it happened on the Super Showdown. So
oh really? It happened on Super Showdown. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's one off the cuff one. We all know that SmackDown 1000 is gonna come.
Yeah, next week, isn't it?
Yeah, next week. Is The Rock gonna come? Dwayne Johnson gonna come?
Yep.
Edge is backed out of it.
Edge is backed out. People are saying that they're trying to hook on Dave Bautista. They're trying to hook on Dwayne Johnson. They tried to reach out to Edge, but Edge doesn't want it. So yeah.
Well, Edge was good. Edge was advertised, but now he is no longer advertised.
Yeah, and
Batista and The Rock are advertised.
We know exactly why he's not involved.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's that other 800-pound gorilla in the fucking room. Pardon my language.
And what would that be? Please do share.
Do we really want me to go there?
Share it.
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm not sure what you're talking about.
You know what?
Me
neither.
Let's go.
Me neither.
The whole Kingdom of Saudi Arabia thing. Crown Jewel. And whether or not it should be canceled.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to drop a huge bombshell because this is going to affect us all. As of today, 1 a.m., I am canceling my network subscription.
Why?
Because, well, it's a bridge too far for me.
Because of what they're doing with this, the whole political thing.
It's not the political aspect.
It's them putting profits. It's them putting profits ahead of principles.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
that's it. And I can't. I'll have to answer with my wallet because here's the thing. I'm gonna list it out. I'm gonna be straight. I don't buy any of the WWE t-shirts. I don't buy any of the replica belts. I don't go to WWEshop.com to buy stuff and whatnot. That's the only way of me of supporting the company, by subscribing to the network. $9.99 every single month, $9.99 every single month just to get a whole archive of WWE shows, WCW shows, even ECW if you want that. Just the archive that's important that I can go skim through and just talk about it, discuss it on a irregularly weekly basis on the podcast. Like I said, I am happy to talk about wrestling. I'm happy to talk about graps. If you are talking about WWE wrestling on the weekly show on the weekly basis, yeah, it's the only way. I started paying almost $10 a month for the WWE streaming network. I had no regrets. I enjoyed it because I need that. Because as much as I would love to say that I don't really make money in this mug, I sure hope so. This is what we're talking about. Week in, week out, we're talking about wrestling. We're talking about everything. We're talking about the universe that is wrestling, that revolves around wrestling. We're talking about that. And again, I have to make my stand clear. I have nothing against the basic concept of WWE running shows in Saudi Arabia, because if they want to promote there, they want to spend their own money doing shows that garner to their product and garner to the focus. That's cool. If they wanted to get that kind of profits, yeah, that's fine. That's how capitalism works. That's how their business runs. But that's not what's been happening this year.
No,
because in
strictly political and propaganda making.
State propaganda. Yeah, true. Because back then in April, just 2 weeks after WWE's biggest event of the year, WWE ran a show in Saudi Arabia called the Greatest Royal Rumble. Everyone remembers that?
Yeah.
And was that an accurate representation of WWE show that we watch on a weekly basis?
No.
There you go. Because there's
Not at all.
a huge section of roster stayed home. Huge roster of it stayed home, especially the women. The women is notably absent. With women
were
paid,
paid,
performing.
though, at least,
Yeah, they were
but-
paid though. The April show had time to air men matches and a little bit of propaganda, of course. About the great Saudi Arabia is under the leadership of their crown prince. It's one, and then the whole situation of WWE 2008 Saudi Arabia shows are part of a lucrative 10-year deal that the company has signed, possibly as much as 50 mil per show. This is only their second time in their 10-year deal that they're going to do. Whatever the dollar figure is, the state is paying for shows beyond the scales of what WWE usually does. That's why you don't get matches and appearances for these shows. That hasn't happened in the States. Have you realized that? When's Brock Lesnar wrestling again? Here's a question for you guys.
He's going over
When's
there.
Brock Lesnar? Yeah, he hasn't wrestled in US in the States since August. He's back for Saudi Arabia. When is the legendary Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement he's stuck to since 2010?
Saudi Arabia.
Not in any recent years to wrestle WWE's best wrestlers right now. AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, John Cena if he wants to too. But he's instead going to come back at Crown Jewel in a glorified old-timers match featuring stars like Triple H, The Undertaker, and Kane. Say what you want about that star power attraction. Those are stars of the past. Shouldn't you be promoting stars of the present?
Yeah.
And Shawn Michaels, who has been stuck.
What
Yeah.
you were telling me.
Yeah, and Shawn Michaels has stuck to his retirement since 2010. And I have a bone to pick with this issue.
Especially when he comes out and says it ain't got nothing to do with respect anymore.
No. I mean, here's the huge... I'm going to go off on another tangent here. Here's a huge disparaging tangent about how Shawn Michaels' nostalgia and Trish Stratus' own nostalgia is very, very different. I'm annoyed by Shawn Michaels' return. He has stuck to his retirement show. He has stuck to his retirement in 2010. And suddenly he comes out in Saudi Arabia saying that I'm going to come back on a one-time only show for Saudi Arabia. Am I supposed to be miffed in that? Yes, it should be. Because I'd like it better if Shawn Michaels came out from retirement for one more match, doing pay-per-view shows, featuring possibly the best that WWE has to offer right now.
Like Undertaker does at WrestleMania. He comes out once a year.
Exactly.
Well, 2 years ago, I mean, there was, I don't know if it was Twitter or what, it was around the Royal Rumble where it was all talk was AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels. And that's what everyone wanted. And Shawn was like, I'm not going to do it. I will not go against what me and The Undertaker finished in 2010. And that would have been one of the most amazing, I think, feuds at the time. That's when AJ was still heel. And I think he was champion.
Yeah.
So, and that would have, I don't know, that would have been a great scenario that you could do it, but he still was sticking to his guns. And then now we're back to now we are where we are. So.
I mean, again, and when I think about this, I get the fear that Taker has when he watched The Undertaker came back. I mean, I see Shawn Michaels coming back at 53. I get scared. What if he doesn't still have that kind of magic? I see Shawn Michaels right.
I don't think that match is going to have it. You know.
Yeah, I see Shawn Michaels right now, Taker, and I think you can relate on this very, very closely. I'm going to say it right now. I see Shawn Michaels, one of my idols, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, if not the best wrestler that I love for all time. I look at him right now. I see middle-aged man strutting down the aisle when his theme song sings about being a sexy boy, but all I see is a bald man that has to rely on wearing cowboy hats or hats to cover up his baldness. Airline for that. Despite him looking great at 53, looks like he can go one more match in the ring.
Well, yeah,
he did at WrestleMania 32 when they did that little spot.
But that's just one little spot.
Yeah.
That's just one little spot. I'm relying on him to put up a match at 53.
Yeah. I mean, look at Sting.
I'm
Look
scared.
what happened to him.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm worried.
Sting was a couple inches away from being completely crippled for his life. So.
I've already told the issue about, well, I would rather see him face off against someone else that he hasn't had a match before. Like you said, Angel. Face him off against AJ Styles way back then. And respect given, he actually said, no, I don't want to do that. But why now? Why return now? Why return to a glorified pay-per-view show in Saudi Arabia? You want to see the other end of the spectrum? See Trish Stratus. People are cheering for her ass off from the crowd. No resentment, no worries at all. No what ifs, ands, or buts. What if she gets injured? What if she doesn't really look? What if she can't really bring it and whatnot? No, there's no such talk on that. It's just support, cheer, adulation.
That's a very good point. I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, well, the thing is that when Trish left, when Trish retired, she was still young. She's only in her 40s now. I think, and
it's.
And she wasn't a wrestler.
I'm not talking about age-wise.
And she has stayed in shape.
Yeah. So does Shawn Michaels.
But Trish, she wasn't a wrestler when she came into the business either.
Yeah,
she turned into what she was, which is an incredible feat as it is, from nothing to what she became.
Yeah,
because I'm not talking more about age. I'm more talking about nostalgia right now.
Yeah,
because the nostalgia of Trish Stratus returning to wrestle one more match is way more powerful than Shawn Michaels returning back from retirement to wrestle one more match.
Mm.
That's the huge difference that I have right now. And I'm worried. I'm more worried for Shawn Michaels than I'm worried about Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus returning, good on her. Honestly speaking, yeah, good on her. Surprising that it came out from my mouth from a Shawn Michaels fans like I myself.
Seeing Lita come back. I'm a little worried about her with the neck, but you know what?
That's really a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really a problem because
she's had surgery and she's wrestled since she's had the surgery for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She had basically the same surgery that Steve Austin had.
Stone Cold,
yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and she wrestled after that, and won a title. As a matter of fact,
exactly.
After that,
I mean. Sure. I mean, in one other side of the coin, even though I'd say that out loud that I'm canceling my subscription and whatnot, maybe Shawn Michaels coming back into the ring might be put up another classic rather than a broken down version of the Undertaker versus a broken down version of Shawn Michaels. Maybe they'll put up another classic. Maybe they put up a magnetic, attractive show, but.
I just don't see it.
I don't see. Here's the thing, and
who are the faces? Who are the faces and who are the heels in this?
Number one, number two, Taker. Here's the most important point, and you already felt this. You already had the illusion of Undertaker leaving the ring as if he's quitting, retiring, stepping back, shattered when he came back.
Yeah.
You want that same thing to happen to Shawn Michaels? The whole nostalgia thing that you'd say.
I was always indifferent towards Shawn. Okay, not saying that I wasn't a fan. Not saying I was a fan.
Yeah,
I appreciated what he did. He was great at what he did.
Yeah, but you see the point. You see the parallel.
I see your point. I see the paradigm. I see it all. Mm-hmm. And I agree with you that,
regardless of the performance,
Shawn should have stayed away.
Yeah, regardless of the performance that they potentially could put up in Crown Jewel, that illusion of the past is going to break to some extent. I don't know how. I don't know to what extent. Maybe it's a minor. Maybe it's just a minor scratch on his illustrious career. Maybe it'll shatter his the image of him retiring. Just stay back, stay retired, and whatnot. And which brings us back to the whole issue: should WWE cancel the show? I'd say yeah.
I say yeah, because for that's not the main reason. The Shawn the tag team match. The main reason to me is what here in the United States, we've got our own Senate, on both sides of both parties, both sides of the aisle are coming out and saying that WWE should cancel the show because of the arrest and interrogation and murder that the Turkish government say happened over in Turkey at the Saudi embassy. It's a single source, people. It's all speculation. I mean, nothing's confirmed.
Yes.
But if it turns out to be true,
what happens next?
What happens next?
That's a big question. If it turns out to be true,
WWE is monitoring the situation.
Monitoring the situation.
I don't think that's enough.
It's not enough.
Not enough. Not at all. Not even close.
You tell them.
Not enough.
You tell them, here's your money back, and take the contract and stick it up your ass.
Yeah, because here's the thing: if the facts that what's been rumored to have been talked about with a little bit of hint of skepticism is proven true, like you said, they'll have to get with the times. If they don't, count me out. I'm canceling my subscription right now. I'd love to renew my WWE subscription someday. Right now, it's canceled. I'm saying it right.
There's plenty in business that made sense for this deal to work, but there's also a part of business called public relations, and it's huge. It's a very big part of business, and a lot of people that agree that the show should go on don't really understand this.
Yeah, the better word for it is actually this. The better word for it.
If your points in the court of public opinion go down, you're losing.
Fucked.
You're losing money ahead of actually losing money.
Yeah,
so
you're fucked.
Yeah.
And again, I'm being blunt. You're screwed. Yeah. You're screwed because here and the better word for it is actually this: corporate social responsibility. That's the term in business.
And right now, I think they're on one of the highest highs that they've ever been on.
Of course,
as part of they're all over Fox. I've heard. Because I listen to sports radio. I've heard sports radio people talking about WWE. I've heard them, praising.
Hell, I heard. Angel, I heard Mike Greenberg on Get Up talking about WWE and WrestleMania, and I said, and I tweeted to him and said, it's in Newark. It's in New Jersey this year. You're right there because he wants to go on location there with that show. You're right there.
Yeah. Colin Cowherd, who's a known guy that just would diss wrestling at any point in time. Starting this, I mean, he works for Fox, of course, but he went to a show and he came back the next day and was like, I'm really excited that they're coming. I mean, after going to a show and meeting all the wrestlers, he put out a positive note, and I've just
they just signed that huge contract with Fox.
Yeah,
and in the court of public opinion, if WWE goes through with this show in Saudi Arabia, it's there's going to be a lot of subscriptions canceled to WWE Network, of course. But there's also going to be blowback on Fox for this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course. I mean, again, I'll level with you guys. It's in this day and age, it's arguably irrational to just draw moral lines with how you spend your dollars in a capitalist society. Like it or hate it, we are living in a capitalist society. I mean, the phone I use, the food I eat, the games I love playing, all are made in ways that if I find out the real thing, like I said in my Twitter page, if I find out what actually happens behind the scenes of it, I'll be horrified. I'd be shocked if I knew about the process. But sometimes in that process there are limits. Maybe it should have been something else. Maybe there should have been something morally wrong that happened in my country. It already had happened in the States already. Maybe it should have been something else. I mean, uh, there are enough terrible things in the world already to make any stance against a Saudi WWE deal too hypocritical. But I'm seeing when I see the reports of a Saudi hit squad luring a journalist into a trap in Istanbul, killing him, chopping bodies to pieces, my excitement for watching Crown Jewel just goes away, just disappears. There's no hype for me anymore. There's no. I'm looking forward to watching Crown Jewel. I have to watch Crown Jewel because I have to take track into it. All of that is gone already. It's just, should I support this? Should I watch this? I have to answer by my wallet. So this is the only thing that I do. Cancel the subscription. I don't buy WWE stuff. I don't collect them. I don't because I live far away from I live far away from the place anyways. I'm from Japan and the company is in the States and I have to pay a lot and not so much an exorbitant amount of money to get some of the items over here. I'd rather put my money on NJPW and just there you go. I'm putting my money on NJPW currently and just watched it. So
I know.
There's that. I mean, again, like I said, I don't want to touch on politics a lot, but there are some room for skepticism. I agree. There are some room for. Are you saying, is this true? Is this correct? You're right to be skeptic. Yes, because the claims have been made only by Turkish officials, have been denied by the Saudi government, yet to be confirmed by the state. Of course, supposedly audio and video evidence, but the Washington Post reports that we read that says that it's unclear if it has been vetted by the states. There's just the Saudi WWE deal has reeked for a while, and I think this is just the final straw.
I agree.
I think, I mean, the easiest thing for them to do right now, in my opinion, would say this show is postponed, pending
just pause,
whatever.
Pending. Just put it on the back burner.
At least if they say that, that's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And then they can just let it fade into the distance forever.
Yeah, forever. Or
they can go behind the scenes and work out whatever deal they need to. But if they just say it's postponed,
they need
that'll at least say something. They don't have to cancel it outright yet, but
they need
right now,
they need to negotiate their way out of the contract.
Yeah.
And if it's going to cost them money, that's fine. Pay it, WWE. In the long run, it's going to save your product. Because this is nothing but this is nothing but propaganda, for the people that say don't cancel the show, because it's entertainment for the mess. No, it's not. No, it's not. The people they give the tickets away.
Mm-hmm.
And they're two selected people. You look at who was sitting ringside. You had all them.
It's the royal family.
Royal family and those close to the royal family, and they had the recliner chairs, the big comfy, and they had their servants, and they were too busy on their cell phones and doing other shit to pay attention to what's going on in the ring.
And here's another thing. You can vouch for this, though, Taker. Vehemently vouch for this, because as a fan of anything, especially as a fan of wrestling, that we all pay a lot of attention to, we kind of sort of accept a certain amount of, let's say, imperfection, because
but that was way
pro
too
wrestling.
long.
Yeah, I know. Way back then, for pro wrestling, given the amount of sexism, homophobia, racial caricature baked into wrestling's past, it's gotten better, of course, especially at WWE.
Yeah,
especially in WWE. Yeah,
but
there's a but. There's a
huge but here.
This is the huge but. This is the huge but right now.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, this is the huge but. I mean,
Just
we can accept.
Simple. That's why I put out the hashtag this morning. Principles before profits. It's simple.
That kind of politics has no business in it.
True. Yes. That kind of business, that kind of politics has no reason to be in the business whatsoever. I mean, sure, yeah, you're making money off from a country who promises to give you money. As a country, I give you money, and then you give me back, and then you give me shows. That's it.
And their shows.
Yeah, but then you got to sit there and play their promotional videos for the country.
Number one, and number two, you roll over and accept the fact that, okay, we're gonna bring in these old faded stars that we have in the yesteryears, even if and we'll try and find Yokozuna, even though we all know that Yokozuna has long gone since past. They want Hulk Hogan. Oh no, we have trouble with Hulk Hogan. Can we at least suffice you with someone else? In a way, and the country doesn't want to watch women's wrestling. Oh,
yeah.
That's half of my roster gone.
Yet they're supposed to be doing all these things for women.
Not just for women. For
they just recently let them start driving a car. Oh, are we supposed to jump over the goddamn moon for that? No.
It's an improvement. I'll give credit.
But yet, in the same sense, if this member of the this journalist who's been outspoken against the crown prince and all that has been interrogated, beaten, tortured and murdered. WWE, run far, run fast.
Yeah, but hey,
I mean, every country has got their own way of doing things. Granted, we're for women's rights. They're not. They've got that thing. But with this coming up with the reporter, especially the reporter was supposed to be from their own country.
Yeah.
Don't bring that propaganda in. We don't.
Yeah.
We've got enough. The United States has got enough problems with the sex scandals in wrestling, the domestic violence in wrestling. Mm-hmm. Don't put that on top of it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot. I think I'll agree again. There's a lot of things that we kind of sort of say. Yeah, I think I have to accept that because it happened.
Okay, Twitter. Cage Side Seats put it up. WWE reportedly full steam ahead with Crown Jewel.
Again, like I said, if they're going to go, I'm going to cancel. So I'm canceling.
So right now it's saying full steam ahead.
Mm-hmm.
That just came out.
Mm-hmm.
It's very disappointing.
Let's see. With the disappearance of journalist Jamal, I'm not even going to try the name, in the headlines, along with allegations he was murdered in Saudi Arabia, counsel in Turkey, under orders of Saudi Crown Prince. There's been a lot of attention given to WWE's partnership.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to hurt. I mean, like I said, my move is going to hurt the show a little bit. But I mean, I have sites to just check on highlights. As of now, I don't want to see it live, so I'm gonna have to work out something. So
1 minute they're talking about it's full steam ahead. Let's see. WWE indicates has no plans to back off the show for which they booked Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels. But now
sure, book them, but they have to pause. They have to pause. It's just.
But then it's preparations could be put on hold.
Preparations could be
put on hold.
This is PW Insider's report.
Yeah. By further news of the missing Washington Post columnist.
Yeah,
so,
but
the funny thing about it is that the columnist is a Washington Post guy, so it's for an American paper.
Yeah. Well, he's an American resident.
He's an American resident.
Yeah.
He's a resident of the United States, but yet he's a citizen of that government, and he was over in Turkey for some odd reason, and they got him into the embassy.
Yeah, there you go.
Technically, embassies, once you step inside the embassy, is sovereign.
Yeah.
So you're part of that country. So they can, the laws of Saudi Arabia apply. That's why they beat the shit out of him and killed him, if this is true.
If this is true. But like I said, the whole crux of the matter is, well, I'm canceling. It's going to hurt, but we'll get to it. We'll cross that bridge if it matters. So,
I'm knee deep into a Survivor Series trip where I've spent probably $500 or so on, I only live in the Bay Area compared to LA, and there are people that have probably spent even way more cash, and I'm already regretting it.
Look at the people that come from Australia and stuff for WrestleMania.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's insane.
Exactly. I mean, again, I'm just gonna say it. I'm canceling. I would love to renew my subscription in the future, but as of right now, it's canceled. As of right now, I'm not giving my $10 or I'm not gonna give my money, my hard-earned money, every single week, every single month when I work in the editorial room to watch WWE. I'm gonna have to dig through highlights. I'm gonna have to go through wrestling sites to get the results for that. But it is what it is. I have to do that. It's gonna hurt the show, but I hope not to a huge extent. So, I mean,
if you look at the last month, we really haven't covered any of the shows.
Of course not.
Taker in the last month, we really haven't watched any of them.
I haven't watched the shows in weeks.
Yeah, because you said you wanted to take a break, so yeah, I do.
I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown in I don't even know how long. I watched the pay-per-views. I watched Super Showdown, but
I caught most of it because I need to. I wanted to touch on it, but sometimes
I heard the match between Triple H and Undertaker was not one you want to see.
Nope. I actually haven't. That's the only match I haven't watched yet.
Just go watch it and then you can decide. Okay, this is the shit.
But the thing is, it's between work and everything else. It's just isn't it?
You don't have the time. You don't have the time to do it. But hey, it is what it is. Sometimes it is what it is.
But Go ahead.
No, I was just saying this news report and thing that's going on just made it worse.
It is. It's not worse. It's just hugely disappointing on my side.
Right. I mean, Vince is such a narcissistic son of a bitch.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can understand he's trying to get, make money for his shareholders. I understand all that.
Mm-hmm.
And yes.
But when do you draw the line?
I did spell principle wrong. You're right.
But when where's the line? Where's the limitations of it all?
When is enough?
Right.
Yeah. When is like you say, when is the public court, public opinion?
Here's when I can tell you when it'll be enough. Here's exactly. Let's say they bring Sami Zayn over. Syrian. What'll happen to a Syrian? He's of Syrian descent. He'll probably because a lot of Syrians are they're not allowed in the country.
Exactly.
They bring Sami Zayn over, he'll be arrested, and then it'll be the end of Sami Zayn.
Deported. Yeah, arrested and then just either deported or got into a huge amount of trouble. But hey, it's not the issue. It's not the biggest issue. It's just the biggest issue. Yeah, WWE monitors now. They're not monitoring anymore. They're moving ahead. Well, goodbye WWE networks.
People are gonna pay with their.
People are gonna answer with their wallet.
Exactly.
Okay,
unfortunately, I'm going to keep it because I have to because of this podcast. So
Okay. Think of this.
I understand.
Well, it's not just this podcast. It's because we can get old matches on there for the other podcasts too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We got two podcasts a week that we gotta get content for. So.
Okay. I mean, I'll give you on short notice here. If there is anything that WWE that garners you guys' interest that so much that it has to be talked out in Shootin' the Breeze, then okay, you can do that. But for me, I think I have to answer with my wallet. It's too much.
I understand. I respect that, and anybody else that does that, I have the utmost respect for. I just hope that I'm respected for my opinion and why I'm keeping it.
Yeah. WWE reportedly full steam ahead with Crown Jewel. MDS reportedly moving full steam ahead to canceling his network subscription, which I already did. So, yeah.
You guys talk more about Japanese wrestling anyway.
Yeah. Especially with Destruction coming. So,
And on Connoisseurs, we talk about the history of wrestling everywhere. So for the WWE Network, for me personally, I could give two shits about the way wrestling is now. Because to me, it's not interesting. But the past, that is where my interest lies. So I use it just for past videos and stuff.
I agree. I mean,
the wrestlers back then were more believable.
I do got one more thing to say. Now, what they got with the Saudi Arabia, remember when WWE first went to India? How a lot of the fans had a fit.
Yep.
They didn't like it. India was more preferable to this. They didn't condemn, they didn't keep the women out. Yes, they had to wear one-piece bodysuits, which is fine. The women didn't have the problem, but they could participate. It wasn't, there was some politics, but not as much as there is now with the one for Saudi.
Right, well, the thing about it is what? Just across the water in Abu Dhabi, we had a title match between Sasha Banks and we had a match with Sasha Banks and
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah. They had to wear the one pieces.
Which is awesome. Which is awesome.
And it was and that's a Muslim country, guys. Hello.
But they didn't have a problem. The girls didn't have a problem with it. Because they were on the card. They got to do their job.
Number one, they were on the card. Number two, at least they did something as a sign of respect.
Exactly. They respect the religion. They respect,
Because you don't really need to show enough skin. So, okay, we'll give you one piece.
It's not a political thing.
It's just something.
It's respect.
It's not a political thing in Saudi Arabia either. It's a religious thing. But the women, we all know that it's their religious laws.
And there's option, and you guys have options. If you want to see it, go. If you don't want to see it, then don't go. There you go.
Yeah, but with the other one, it wasn't the religion. It was respect for their religion and their traditions. Saudi, it's weird because of what they're doing.
Again,
that's
sorry. And again, it brings up a huge question. What's so different between Abu Dhabi and
Saudi Arabia?
What's so different between Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia? So much so that you can't really do both things at the same time.
Well, Abu Dhabi is more like the Las Vegas of the Arab world.
But it's
still a Muslim country. Yeah,
it's a Muslim country. As long as the women are covered, they still should be able to wrestle.
Yeah. So what's the difference between that and that? So
it's not for them being excluded. It's not really religion.
I mean, again, I think that's a huge topic to cover on a future Shootin' the Breeze thing. So there's that. I mean, for now, I'm just going to watch this situation develop. What's going to happen before we reach Crown Jewel? Before Crown Jewel really actually comes live. So
if it does, we can sit and watch WWE crash and burn.
Start to crash and burn.
This is going to be.
It's going to be their downfall.
It's going to hurt them.
It's going to hurt. I mean, if this happens, what would happen to SmackDown 1000? What would happen to Evolution? What would happen to next year's WrestleMania? It's going to hurt. Like you said, it's going to hurt. The ramifications of it all.
Yeah.
Those matches that they're pushing hard on the final quarter of this year, it's going to hurt them.
It's going to hurt their pocketbook more. Doing the Crown Jewel or not doing it. Doing it's going to hurt them more because they're going to lose out on everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, in a way. Again, I've already said my piece on it. WWE said they're monitoring the situation. I say that's enough. Now they're saying they're moving ahead. They're not doing enough. They're not doing enough. In my eyes, anyway.
No, and it's a crying shame. It's an absolute shame that Vince has to do this. Because he's so well. He doesn't realize that the shareholders are probably. I'm sure there's shareholders that are probably going to dump their shares of WWE stock. We're going to see the price plummet again.
Yeah,
it's going to drop, and he's going to lose money, and then he's going to wonder why. And
he's gonna get the answers. He's gonna get the answers. So, there you go. Anyway, okay. Off to something that happened to me last week, which I am still surprised about too this week.
What's that?
And the UFC 229 fight between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor. Have I told you that whole family, my sisters and whatnot, and their husbands are watching the whole thing when I was going out, and when I was planning on going out with my fiance just to have some food, and then I came down and seeing them all down there just watching the whole thing, and even my smallest niece was watching it and going, "When did this happen? When the hell did this happen?" When all the people we're watching the main event between Khabib and Conor. When did this happen? And you know what's the more
which turned into a
brawl, but I'll touch on that later. I know a post-match brawl, but I'll touch on that later. The most surprising thing that I had never thought that I never pegged that any of my family members watch UFC. I know some of them watch wrestling, but not as much as I do because I have to do podcasts and all that. But I never thought that. And then here I was saying, and okay, I'm gonna sit down. And then I sit down for the whole matchup between Khabib and Conor, and I was talking to my brother-in-law about how Khabib is certainly, most definitely gonna win because Conor, with all his reach and all his counterpunching skills and ability that he has, he can't counter a wrestler. He can't counter grapple fuck like Khabib.
No.
And we both agree on that one. And I am surprised, and I'm again surprised. How the hell do you know about UFC when I initially assumed that you guys don't watch UFC?
But
I'm still surprised to this day. I am still surprised to this day.
Oh, damn.
What? You stretched your back or something?
I'm yawning. I'm getting tired.
Oh, okay. But yeah, okay. And then yeah, of course. Khabib submitted Conor by rear naked choke. He tapped out, and of course that happened. And of course the post fight match outside the ring happened. And
what was McGregor's motivation for going at Khabib again outside the ring? What the hell was that about?
I don't know. I mean, apparently one fan told a source that McGregor's teammate Dylan Dennis called Nurmagomedov a effing Muslim rat in the arena, so that pissed Khabib off. That's what set Khabib off. So there's there.
Yeah, well, that would set you off. I would set anybody off.
Yeah, that would set anybody off because he already told his piece. He talks about his religion. He talks about his country. He talks about his father. He come to Brooklyn and he broke the bus. He almost killed a couple of people. See?
Yeah.
And of course, the NAC is already doing their suspension on both McGregor and Nurmagomedov. So they've already been suspended.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And they don't know whether they're going to suspend both of them indefinitely or not by the NAC. But
well, the Nevada Athletics Commission is right now meeting.
Yeah,
they're currently suspended.
Yeah, they're currently suspended. But still, Nurmagomedov is the champ still because official rules still stand. McGregor tapped out, so that's done and dusted, of course. So. But again, the whole biggest story that I have to say is that I did not know that most of my family watch UFC, and here I am sitting, and there I was spending 20 minutes to half an hour canceling my lunch session with my fiance. With my fiance, I had to do one later, and I was sitting there beside my brother-in-law, discussing on who will win, Khabib or Conor, and all of us agree it's gonna be Khabib.
Connor hadn't been in the octagon for 2 years. His last
He's
fight
busy.
was a boxing match that he got his ass handed to him in.
Exactly. He hasn't even, as much as you want to say that he has already been trained. He has already put training into him. We've always said, once you leave the ring, once you leave the repertoire, once you leave the routine, once you leave the humdrum practice and whatnot, you're gonna get rusty, and that's what happened. And that's what happened. First 2 matches, Khabib dominated him. Third round, Connor showed some flickers of life, tried to counter back again, but no, it can't happen. It's a 50-50 there. 4, Khabib mounts Connor, puts him in a rear naked choke. He taps out.
Simple.
I mean, he called what he was going to do before the match too.
Exactly.
So he knew exactly what he was going to do to win.
I will break Connor.
And he did.
And he did.
I mean, some of the highlights I've seen, the punches that Khabib would throw, Connor's missing and Khabib was hitting him, and Connor's looking at him like, the hell is this? What the hell? And Connor's swinging wild.
I mean, sure.
There was a...
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I was saying, there was a part...
Okay, go ahead, Angel.
I think it was, the first round where Khabib was just wailing away at him. They could have stopped the fight there.
Yeah.
Connor was on the ground on his back. Mm-hmm. And Khabib was throwing fists down, and Connor barely was able to defend himself. I thought they could have called it there, but they didn't. Yeah. So there was 2 times.
And then there's the second round, and then there's the second round where Khabib landed a good right hook, and Connor stumbled down and just tried to get back up. That's good. I mean, I didn't realize that my family, my brother-in-law and whatnot, are watching that, and they're saying, now I'm enjoying it. And okay, maybe I'll have to just, if they're watching UFC, I'm just gonna have to sit down and watch the UFC too. So I'm not against it. I just find it so amusing because, to be honest with you, I think I'm the only avid wrestling fan that I watch. So there's that. In my family, most of them just watch it for the sake of watching it. I didn't realize that we're just watching this. Oh, okay. Let's watch together. And then we were discussing on the whole how Connor has more reach, but Khabib knows ground game, is excellent at his ground game and grappling moves and whatnot. So it evolved to
Connor. Every match Connor won was by knockout, correct?
Yeah, because he's a counterpuncher.
Yeah, the thing about it is, if a grappler gets a hold of a counterpuncher in the ground and pound, it's over. Because he can't. But it should be. It's done and dusted. It's over.
Yeah, but here's my counteroffer. If a counterpuncher like Connor lands a hit on Khabib gets knocked down. Because Khabib has not been known so well as his defensive work. He can avoid it. He can avoid jabs, of course, he does. But he can't block or counter back. Because his game is not about counter punches. His game is about putting you to the ground and working and wearing you down, so much so. Using his upper body strength and just working on a limb.
Kind of like someone else we know.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of like Ronda Rousey, but the thing about it is that she got caught by a puncher.
And she got cut by a good kick. By Holly Holman. Knocked out.
And then she got hit with a good punch in her next one and got knocked out.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I haven't said this. I haven't said this out loud, but before I went in to watch 229's main event, I had the opinion that it's going to be one of the best counterpunchers in Conor McGregor versus one of the best grapplers in Khabib Nurmagomedov. Because I don't know what's going to happen. Because Khabib has never faced someone like Conor, who is a great counterpuncher. Conor has never met someone who's a great wrestler in Khabib Nurmagomedov. It's going to be a first to first. So, and then the question has been answered: who's better, Khabib? There you go.
Well, Khabib's got 2 belts now, right?
One. But he's undefeated. He's 27-0. So
Hmm.
he's
If
the
I
UFC.
was him, I'd retire now.
Oh boy, if he does, and again, he hasn't really gotten his payout, but he'll attract eyeballs if he somehow says that I'm gonna quit, I'm going to retire, or I'm quitting UFC and then moving to say Strikeforce or Bellator.
Or hell, even down over to Pinnacle over here.
Hey,
That's
you know what?
that's a small promotion here in Illinois, Iowa area.
Ah, okay. But here's another interesting thing. He teases a jump. Guess where?
Where WWE?
Yep.
Why not?
WWE asked me to jump inside. What do you think, guys? Hashtag Smash Lesnar. Hashtag fake fights. I don't know whether he's just joking or he's
It
just
was almost a
considering.
diss. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think it's a joke, I guess, because the guy is honest. From what I've
Brutally
from what I've
honest.
seen is from what I've seen in his press conference, he's direct to the point. He's blunt. He doesn't really pander to the crowd. He's just says what he feels. That's it.
That's the best way to be.
He's just honest. He's just down to earth. He just says what he says what's on his mind.
Said flat out. He said out several times that he didn't like Conor McGregor as a person. He didn't like him. He didn't respect him as a fighter.
Yeah. And of course, there's also the endearing part where he says that, "Oh, my father is going to punish me for this." It's something endearing to say, to watch a grown ass man still be afraid of his dad when he knows that he done something wrong and he's gonna get punished back home. It's just endearing in a way. So this is that. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's family bonding time. I personally think that that's one of the surprising family bonding times with something that I closely relate to, even though it's not wrestling. It's still how to say close combat sports.
Well, the hell, right now the I saw something in Cage Side 2 about I guess the Cormier fight may not be happening with Brock Lesnar now because of John Jones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen that. I haven't really touched on that one because I haven't really read it yet. So
I haven't read it either, but I saw that headline and I'm like, okay. We know Brock is back in USADA's testing pool.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's something else for Sunday. Anybody gets bored, there's a documentary on Eddie Guerrero. Going to be airing on Sunday on YouTube.
Yeah. I saw that too.
Mm-hmm.
That should be good.
I mean, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it for the show. I mean,
other than what else do we have on plate? What else? Well, there's a hashtag petitioning coming out. Cancel Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also principle, and I spelled it wrong. It should be PRI.
Well, you did spell it correctly. On Twitter, you spelled it correctly. In the daily, you did not spell it correctly.
Okay.
On your Twitter, you did spell it correctly. I saw. So
because it's gonna be
principles before profits.
Yeah,
principles over profits.
Over. Yes.
That's what it needs. That's what it needs to be.
I'm already going full ahead with this. As well, number one. Again, it's going to be a pity because I really, really find most of the characters in WWE quite endearing, especially Becky Lynch, especially Ronda Rousey. Fan of Roman Reigns and whatnot, but I have to take a stand. I have to just put a line in the sand. So there we go. I mean, if you're still, I'm not going to judge any of the listeners if you're still going forward with still continuing the subscription and whatnot. I just have to answer with my wallet. This is how. I'm not judging. I'm not going to say, "Oh, you're not going against me. You're not going with me. Then you're against me." No, I'm not going to say that. No,
Yeah,
because that's it. That's if I did that in my whole life, you guys are free to just shit on me. Just
that's
lay
that's
crap
as narrow-minded
all over
as it gets. If you're
me. Yeah, because that's as
so.
narrow-minded as it gets. And if most of you, if all of you listeners know who I am by now, I'm not that kind of close-minded person.
No, you're not.
Not at all. Not at all.
I mean, you
I'm-
no, never mind. I was going to say something that no, I decided against it.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no! I don't want to get you. I don't want to get you corpsing again.
Oh, go ahead. I've already corpsed 1,000 times in the show already.
No. I mean, you were open. I guess. Well, you're open-minded enough to draft YOSHIHIKO.
Oh, we're gonna go back to this. Listen,
No.
listen close, ye
No.
old people of DDT Pro Wrestling.
No. It's bad
Okay.
enough I came in on the title.
It's bad enough that you came in untitled. True.
Yeah, it is.
Angel, you're gonna enjoy any kind of match with YOSHIHIKO.
Apparently.
I mean, if Kenny Omega can wrestle a girl, he can definitely wrestle a sex doll. A 9-year-old girl. Back when he was full-on cleaner mode.
I remember that. I've seen that.
And he even fought off against Kota Ibushi, too, so... Shit. Yeah, but in any case, anything
he
else?
stole my name for his move, by the way. But that's for another day. No,
oh, come on. You can't... Angel, you can't get pissed off by a doll taking your finishing maneuver.
Oh, God.
You can't. You cannot. No. If you are, then you're even more petty than I am. You're even pettier than I am.
I can make so many dirty jokes that I'm not going to even start.
No. This is a PG-13 show, mister. No. As much as we
I even heard
appreciate...
I heard LL cackle a little bit back there. So.
I know. I mean, okay, here's my question, though. Which one were you pissed off of? Reincarnation, YOSHIHIKO Destroyer, or Metempsychosis? Which one? YOSHIHIKO Destroyer? His endless... YOSHIHIKO Destroyer is simply put an endless Canadian destroyer. Or are you pissed off that he his entrance song is Poker Face? I kid you not, it's Poker Face.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Whatever.
Taker's just I quit.
I give up.
I give up. At least the People's Battle Doll, ladies and gentlemen.
I quit.
The People's Battle Doll, ladies and gentlemen. The most electrifying battle doll in Niigata.
See the garbage sometimes I gotta put up with, ladies and gentlemen.
Even your wife is laughing. So you can't say anything.
Because she knows it's the truth.
I'm staying out of this fight.
Like I put in the chat, please send help. Send help.
Yes, I need help. I already put that in. No, let me go put that in the daily. Help me, I'm melting.
I mean, I can go on and on and on.
I know you can. We need to wrap this thing up.
Okay, fine. I'll I'll wrap this up then. Okay. Well, if we don't have anything under the card, there's only one thing left that we can do. Mr. Angel, where can we find you?
You can all find me on the daily
under YOSHIHIKO.
Stop.
Jeez. Okay, MDS is really out there today.
Yeah. He's been out there since Thursday.
Go ahead.
All right. You can find me on the daily and the nightly. My handle, One Winged Angel on Cage Side Seats.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there most days, when I'm pretending to work.
Pretending to work.
You can find me on Twitter at Angel Seth. That's SEPH 16. And I am a frequent contributor on a few of the podcasts that will be listed later. And I will be on the Ruthless Aggression podcast this coming Friday with Metal Matt as we discuss the show I went to that I hold near and dear to my heart, which was No Way Out 2004, where Eddie Guerrero won the World Championship here in beautiful San Francisco.
Wow, that's a good that is really a first-hand experience that you can tell people.
It's probably the most electric moment of wrestling that I've ever seen. So there's that. And you can also find me at the local liquor store. You'll probably see me there. But especially once I hang up this phone because I'm headed right for the I need a screwdriver. Especially after this. So.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Because we're ending the show on a very, 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 very odd note. But I'll keep going. Legends Lover, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Winstern64 and Monday nights on Connoisseurs of Wrestling. Which is going to be interesting the whole month since we're doing monsters. Heel monsters.
Nice. It's a lot of heel monsters that we have.
Mm.
Are you going to talk about Giant Gonzalez, though?
Jerry Gonzalez.
Yeah, Giant Gonzalez.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Still a giant. It's still a monster, though. Although
Yeah,
kind of
underused.
Okay.
Monsters as the ones that actually look like monsters.
The monster of the airbrush.
All right. Okay.
Monster of the hairbrush.
The monster. Okay.
That bodysuit left a lot to be desired.
Oh, Jesus.
If the train has gone off the rails, then right now the train has been set off.
I guess I've
flames.
contributed now. Dang it.
I think I'd rather do Papa Shango. That looks more like a monster for Halloween.
Okay. I get it. Thank you, Legends Lover. Taker, where can they find you?
You can find me on at Takers_Minion. That's on Twitter, of course. You can also find me on the Cage Side, sometimes in the daily and sometimes in the nightly. My work schedule has been so screwy lately.
You're still getting used to the whole new job, so
well, yeah. And then I got to, I said this to LL this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I have less things to do, but I'm not able to get my damn computer up. So, I've had my computer at work the last 2 nights, and it stayed right in its case.
Oh, jeez. That means you really don't have anything to do.
It's because I got to get breakfast to set out. I got, it's the night on it. Everything is different. But you know what? I enjoy it. I have a lot less.
That's the most important thing. I think that's the most important thing. If you enjoy it, then it's all good.
I have a lot less stress.
Ah, that's even better. Even better. And go ahead. More.
And MDS, where can they find you?
Oh, okay. You can find me espousing the rights of Yoshihiko on Twitter at Mr. Dr. Senju. That's MRDR Senju, where I mostly talk about random stuff. Mostly I talk about tokusatsu. Mostly I talk about Kamen Riders. Mostly I talk about Super Sentais or anime shows I watch or whatever, whatnot. And of course, wrestling, of course, and Liverpool. So there's that. You can also catch me on Shootin' the Breeze's official Twitter channel, that Twitter page. That's Shootin' the Breeze, SHOOTINDABREEZ1. That's And of course, you can also sometimes catch me on the daily as well as the nightly on Cage Side Seats. We'll see about that. Of course, other than all our own personal plugins, we have a lot more plugins to do under the banner of Los Angoba Nobles, their podcast. We have Two Guys, One Sport with Chris Colgan and George at Savez. I had so much fun. Again, I on air. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you guys, my brothers from another mother, for inviting me to do it. I hope we do it again next year. Just go crazy with all the picks. So there's that. And there's Fizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling with William Fitzpatrick. There's Violent Wrestling Podcast with Ambrose Alley and Prince Moxley Lopez. What were you saying? You were saying. Okay. And then you have Ambrose Alley's Ramblings with Ambrose Alley. You got Match Fixing with Don Sal Guzmano over at Cedar Breach Media. You got Ruthless Aggression Podcast with Metal Matt. You have, again, I have to promote, you have Connoisseurs of Wrestling with TakersMinion, Biff Kensington III, George Sabes, and Legends Lover. And of course, last but not least, we have Grounds for Development, a new show which promotes the under shows, that is NXT and possibly 205 Live, featuring Mr. Number 5 or Greg Number 5 or
Greg
the Hold or Saskatchewan Spinning Nerve Hold, and of course Biff Kensington III as well. Yeah, and we have MLW Radio Podcast, Something to Wrestle with Conrad Thompson and Bruce Pritchard, and something else. What Happened When with Conrad Thompson and Tony Schiavone. Other podcasts. Twitch channels that we promote. We have Big Rick Travels with Big Rick Steve. Again, I'll say it loud, I'll say it clear. This is a man who drives a big rig and does live stream podcast while he drives the big rig. And of course, two Twitch channels that we are going to promote is, one of them is Mbovo Sumo. That's MBOVO Sumo. That's MBOVO Sumo over at Twitch. And of course, again, I have to do this. Crazy Chris has also a Twitch channel at Crazy Chris 537
576.
576. There you go. And of course, again, I'll put a gentle but friendly reminder. We are planning on moving to Twitch in the near future, possibly on December, perhaps even early December. Any 1st. Other else? Yeah, possibly in December 1st. So check that out in a bit. So yeah. In any case, this has been episode 63 of Shootin' the Breeze, where we just sit down, get your breakfast, get your wrestling stories, get your grappling wrestling stories, get your praises off of Yoshihiko whenever possible. I really am going to stroke this dead bird while it lasts. Again, let me just say it aloud again. Shootin' the Breeze, episode 63. Yoshihiko is God.
Okay.
Yeah, it happened.
It happened.
Okay.
Our dreams, dreams it happened.
Please, LL. Please, LL. You don't want me to say the one matchup that's gonna piss off Taker so much so that he'll disown me.
That's the end of episode 63. It's in the books.
Yeah.
See you all next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.